Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I am Chair of the Board, Rick Vest. To my left is Vice Chair Krista Yoakum, and to her left, Commissioner Matt Schulte. To my right are Commissioner Sean Flowerday and Chelsea Johnson. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're so fortunate to live in this great country. Mr. Clerk, please begin the meeting.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on November 4th, 2025.
I move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, claims. 2A, approval of the claims processed through November 14th, 2025. And I'll note there is an amendment for payroll.
I move approval of the claims, including payroll through November 12th, 2025.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2B, approval of claims for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135 for Anderson Ford Lincoln Mercury dated November 17, 2025 for a total of $379.58. Overhead Door Company of Lincoln Incorporated dated November 17, 2025 for a total of $329. Troy Watson Automotive Incorporated dated November 17, 2025 for a total of $2,032.33. And Vanguard Cleaning Systems of Nebraska dated November 17, 2025 for a total of $2,680.
I move approval of item 2B.
Second.
Motion and second to approve item 2B. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, amendments to the following county contracts. C-24-0599 with the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services for the reimbursement of the Lancaster County District Court's Title 4D Child Support Enforcement Service enforcement expenses. C-25-0505 with Star City BMX for funding for the Visitors Improvement Fund. C-24-0013 with Southeast Nebraska Development District to fulfill the housing management duties for the owner-occupied rehab program. C-24-0012 with the Southeast Nebraska Development District to fulfill the administrative duties for the owner-occupied rehab program. C-22-0853 with Siegel Marco Advisors to provide consulting services for Lancaster County regarding the annual investment and administrative review of the county's 401A retirement plan and 457B deferred compensation program. C-24-0886 with Wellbeing Initiative Incorporated for the provision of Recovery Community Navigator to provide one-on-one peer support and host recovery group sessions with inmates at the county jail. C-25-0574 with Network Provider for Behavioral Health Services at the Mental Health Crisis Center for the 2025-26 fiscal year. C-24-0599 with the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services for the reimbursement of the Lancaster County District Court's Title 4D Child Support Enforcement Direct Cost. C-18-0193 with the Home Depot USA Incorporated for the maintenance, repair, operating, supplies, industrial supplies, and related products. C-23-0625 with Spectrum Paint Company Incorporated for paint and related products. C-25-0009 with Ghana Trekking Excavating for tree hauling services. C-23-0194 with St. Monica's Behavioral Health for services for women in the Family Treatment Drug Court Program. C-23-0196 with the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska on behalf of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for the evaluation of the Family Treatment Drug Court Program. C-22-0927 with Lamps Clean Air Specialist for the annual supply of HVAC filters. B, right-of-way contracts with the following: Dean and Edna Buffum, North 70th Street and Rock Creek Road in the amount of $1,459. DCBA Investments LLC, North 40th Street and Branch Oak Road in the amount of $703. Agland Holdings LLC, West Branch Oak Road, pardon me, West Branch Doka Road and Northwest 140th Street in the amount of $3,105. Brian D. and Heather A. Kaha, Rock Creek Road, North 14th Street in the amount of $1,406. Ringneck Development LLC, Northwest 56th Street paving in the amount of $13,500. Lincoln Public Schools, Northwest 56th Street paving in the amount of $87,900. C, utility permit 2679 with Lincoln Electric System for the installation of underground electrical. D, change order 3 to county contract C-25-0474 with Pavers Incorporated to extend the project to May 30th, 2026. E, change order 2 to county contract C-25-0474 with Pavers Incorporated to add asphalt and patching to the 3 locations. F, grant contracts with the following: the Southeast Community College Foundation for Child Development Center for the Child Care Assistance Program in the amount of $30,000. Community Action Partnership of Lincoln and Saunders Counties for the Child Care Assistance Program in the amount of $85,000. Northeast Family Center and the Child Care Assistance Program in the amount of $100,000. Receive and place on file the following reports for October 2025 from Clerk of the District Court, Assessor Register of Deeds, Records Management, the County Clerk. And finally, H, setting a public hearing on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. at room 112 of the County City Building regarding an application for a Class I liquor license for Ball Vineyards and Estates LLC doing business as Capital View Winery and Vineyards.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Well done, Mr. Clerk. That's a list. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 4, our public hearing, and the public hearing is regarding amending County Resolution 4870, which establishes the hour of operation for the sale of alcoholic liquors in Lancaster County.
Okay, a few items before we open the public hearing. There is a system that we will be using again this morning, as we do on, excuse me, public hearings of this nature. We do have an order of testimony for those who wish to speak on the matter we're about to hear. We'll start with staff, the applicant, if that individual is here. Then we'll go through people who are for the change, people who are against the change, people who want to testify neutral to change, and then follow up if the commissioners have questions for the applicant or for staff. 5 minutes, we will track the time. I think you can see it as well if you choose to testify, and we'd ask everyone to abide by that 5-minute limit. So with that, I will now open the public hearing. And you will, oh, one other thing, you will be sworn in. Mr. Hanson will swear you in if you choose to testify. We'll now open the public hearing and start with staff. Candace. John. Who drew the short straw here?
They both obviously knew they were going to get up and talk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Good morning, Commissioners. This resolution updates the old resolution from the 90s regarding the sale of liquor, including beer, wine, and other spirits, on and off sale in the unincorporated areas of the county. I believe the board met during a staff meeting last week, and the intention today may be to just change the hours for off sale, with the exception of certain nonprofit corporations and holders of Class C and Class I liquor licenses, and that's just part of the statute. This would apply to a request from, I believe it was Emerald Mini Mart in Emerald, and they wanted to sell off-sale liquor at an earlier time than 9 a.m. as allowed by the current resolution from the 1990s. And I'll happily take any questions.
I guess just to clarify, currently the hearing is just about what our policy is. There's actually not a new proposal from us at the county yet. Right now, we're just hearing from the people.
The public hearing will involve that, and then there is an action item after.
Okay.
The old resolution had a list of days and hours of allowable sales of alcohol, both on and off sale, so the board will consider that. And we had talked about a few different possibilities, but our office can certainly change the resolution that we brought this morning based on what the board would like to do after the public hearing. Thank you.
Yeah. John, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you. So, yeah, just to be clear, we do have an action item right after the public hearing. And in that action item, your office, someone has prescribed changing the current hours of operation to, would they match then what we've established are the hours of operation within the city of Lincoln, the Lincoln city limits?
That's a good question, Commissioner. I haven't double checked I haven't checked the hours in Lincoln.
I think that it matches the Emerald Mini Mart's request.
It
Right.
does, correct, it does.
The City of Lincoln actually allows for sale later.
Well,
I thought it was
really the only thing that the city council and this county board would control is the earliest hours. They could make certain carve-outs later in the day, but usually it's just specifying a beginning time. So if Lincoln is after, I believe the old resolution was maybe noon, but this resolution, as it's currently drafted, starts allowing off-sale liquor sales at 9 a.m. on Sundays, and it only changes the Sunday provisions.
I thought we were looking at changing it to 6 a.m.
It's currently 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's currently.
Well, let me double check that then,
Back up.
and we can certainly fix that. Let me see here. It is, sorry, I misspoke. It is 6 a.m. It's not noon to 9, it's 9 to 6.
We're not,
Because-
in the request, just so that I'm clear, in the request, we are treating liquor, wine, beer all the same,
Correct.
and everything goes to 6 a.m. That's what the Emerald Mini Mart is asking for.
Yes, and that is
Right,
what we're
okay.
doing. Yep.
Okay. Okay. 6 a.m. for all types of alcohol sales.
Correct.
That's the request. All right. Any other questions for John? John,
Thank you.
appreciate you stepping up. We did receive a letter from, I believe, the manager of the Mini Mart. Is that individual here today, and would they like to testify if they are? It appears not. Okay, so then, moving forward with the public hearing, we would now open testimony to anyone who would like to testify in support of this change. Please come forward if you'd like to offer testimony in support of the change of hours of sale of alcohol. Morning, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And would you mind stating your name and signing in on this list over here?
Sure. Hi, my name is John Bowler. I'm the district manager for Casey's. I just wanted to share that myself as a representative for Casey's, we are in favor of the resolution. As the gentleman spoke, right now, outside of city limits on Sunday, the time for start sale of beer and wine is 9 a.m. and the start time for liquor is 12 p.m., whereas within the city limits, it is 6 a.m. for both. I'm here as a representative of Casey's because I have a location off of Highway 34 and Adams Street on Old Woodlawn Boulevard that is not within city limits, so it has to abide by the 9 a.m. and 12 noon time. It is confusing to our guests as we have another location within 3 miles south, and then we have 3 other locations within 10 miles. We also get a large number of travelers coming through on Highway 34 for sporting events or coming into Lincoln. And when they stop in, that is our only location for Casey's within that area that does not fit the city limits. So just here to share that it is a consumer concern because it does provide frustration and confusion for them, as it is very different from just a few miles outside, and we're on just a pocket of land that doesn't sit within the city limits. So I was here just to share from a guest point of view and from Casey's point of view, just the confusion there, and that we would be in favor of getting it all back to within the same confines as the city ordinance. So,
Very good, Mr.
that was
Bowler.
all I had
Thank
today.
you for being
So,
here.
thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Any other individuals wishing to testify in favor of the changed? Seeing none, any members of the public wishing to testify against the proposed change in hours? Anyone wishing to testify against the change in hours? Anyone wishing to testify in a neutral capacity? Seeing none, commissioners, do we have any follow-up questions for staff at this time? I don't see any. I will now close.
Actually, real quick,
Oh, yeah.
just for public's sake, so which item is got the vote on it?
5.
Item 5 on our agenda,
Oh, it's just in
public
5.
hearing action item.
Okay. Gotcha, there it is, yeah. So, that's where, but there's not an attachment. Right?
We do have a question for John.
You make it. Do you have a paper copy?
Yes, there wasn't an attachment to the agenda, but our office brought a resolution this morning. And the reason why I didn't draft an attachment earlier was just because of the number of things at play with, we had previously carved out beer and wine only and kept hard liquor separate. And in case the board had wanted to change anything related to a different day of the week, I was, just with the number of options, that's why we
just make Tuesdays weird.
yeah. If the board wanted to, it very likely could. So then our resolution would be needed to be changed after that.
So,
So
go ahead, Sean.
to clarify again, this, and I mean, I haven't, this right here brings it in line with the city's standard and is consistent with the requests of the Emerald Mini Mart and now presumably Casey's, where all off-sale alcohol sales on Sundays just starts at 6 a.m.
Yes, that is my understanding.
We're not differentiating between beer or wine or liquor
Correct.
or anything.
Correct.
And
Okay.
in this document, that's actually item number 3, the document that's currently
Yes.
on the screen.
Yes, that's right. The most substantive thing that changed was 3B.
Sunday.
That used to say 9 a.m. until 1 a.m. the following Monday for beer and wine only, and then a different requirement for hard liquor.
Should we maybe just adjust it to say Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 1 a.m., rather than having an A and a B that delineates 2 different days of the week, even though there's no difference?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
similar.
we could. It's, the statute is cumbersome to get through, but I believe that would work. There's areas of
And-
time
and
that
then-
are sandwiched against other areas.
I think that might be a good idea. The other thing I just want to clarify is that this does not change on sale, so restaurants, bars still can't sell Sunday morning.
And that's governed, I think, by the state, right?
Yes,
I
there
think those are
are.
state rules. I don't think we have
Let me
anything.
grab my note. There's only certain things that we can
Right.
actually do.
Right.
There are hard limits that, it's like after 2 a.m. on any day is strictly off limits. Did you, I believe Commissioner Flowerday, repeat, which, were you interested in a particular day or hours?
No.
The on sale, the question, John, was the on sale hours.
Off sale.
No.
On
off
sale.
Off sale,
Yeah.
we've established what we're doing.
Oh,
There was a
just-
question about on
Yeah,
sale
sorry.
And,
changing.
Bars and
and the
restaurants.
actuality is the city, within city limits, you certainly, they do sell alcohol on sale because people go out for brunch and have mimosas, right, exactly.
Right. So we have, the board has the same authority to change off sale in this case as it does on sale. Every day, 1 AM to 6 AM is not, there can be no on, off sale or retail sale. So it could be changed outside that.
So on sale could be adjusted as well.
It can.
The request was currently just for off sale,
No.
which, and then we've talked about maybe
Leave that up.
adjusting the wording on that A and B to combine them into one,
Yeah.
which I think you can accomplish.
Let's ask John, because he's the expert here, how much, I mean, because it gets done what we want to do by putting it this way. John, how difficult is it to make it the same? You tell us.
To make which change specifically?
By-
7 days,
All 7 days. That,
Monday through Sunday.
yeah, there, as the statute currently is, there's no restriction on that. So we
Okay.
can very easily accomplish that.
Okay.
As the statute currently stands, the state says we can't sell alcohol 2 to 6 AM.
Correct.
On sale or off sale, just,
It actually says 1 AM to 6 AM, but we can make exceptions each early morning from 1 AM to 2 AM. So we could move it to 2, but the default is no sales of any kind, 1 AM to 6 AM.
oh, that's a confusing way to do it. Okay.
Let's,
Yeah, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to understand where we're at here.
Right.
So we could go 1 AM to 2 AM on any day, or make the start times earlier.
the request before us is on off sale on Sundays. And we're accomplishing that through the language here by moving all liquor sales, making them all available at 6 AM on Sundays. That's the point of
Yeah,
contention
that's
we're
right.
working through.
I agree with Commissioner Schulte that we should just clean up that language to make
Make
it.
it simple.
But yes,
Yeah,
That's right.
let's not start going into areas that aren't requested of us. So that, we're still in public hearing. We'll have a little more discussion about this when we go to the action item. But any other questions for John? I think we've clarified what we're trying to achieve here. Seeing none, John, thank you for your work on this. We're lucky to have you. Okay, with that, I will close the public hearing.
Commissioners, that brings us to the public hearing action item. 5A, the resolution amending the established hours of operation for the sale of alcoholic liquors in Lancaster County.
move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Any discussion?
Just clarifying, is the approval with the amendment of striking B and changing A to Sunday? So it says Monday through Sunday?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So how about I make an amendment?
I'll accept that as a friendly amendment.
Okay,
We'll call
perfect.
that-
So we're striking, according to that, we're striking B and adjusting A to say Monday through Sunday, 6 AM to 1 AM.
You're saying all off sale is 6 AM, or yeah, is 6 AM to 1 AM.
The next day.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so we have a motion. Did I hear a second?
I think Krista
Yes.
did.
Krista seconded. Okay. Any further discussion? I would just say that our goal here is to help people, businesses be successful in our community, and this has been brought to our attention as something that was being disadvantageous to those living outside the metropolitan limits, and we want to take any disadvantage those businesses have away and put them on equal footing. So thank you to the individual who brought this to our attention. Thank you for the testimony this morning, making us aware of it. So with that, Mr. Clerk, we have a motion and a second to approve the change in hours of service and the change in language from Monday through Sunday as opposed to two separate entities. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Commissioners, that brings us to item 6, new business. 6A, a resolution in the matter of authorizing the county board to sign the on-call professional services agreement with Alfred Benish and Company for on-call preliminary engineering services.
Morning, Commissioners. Larry Legg with Lancaster County Engineering. This resolution and the following agreement are for additional services on the Fletcher Road improvement, 84th to 148th. It deals with geotechnical, so we can, and pavement design, so we can have someone design the pavement thickness. The design of approach slabs for the bridge that is just east of 84th Street, and then also remodeling the bridge rail so we can use updated guardrail attachment to it.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6B, preliminary engineering services agreement with Alfred Benish and Company for on-call preliminary engineering services at an amount not to exceed $93,273.79.
It's the agreement. Any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6C, resolution in the matter authorizing the county board to sign the professional services agreement, supplemental 3, with Alfred Benish and Company for additional preliminary engineering services.
This is for the 68th Street project just north of Hickman. During the design, preliminary design of the project, we made a few changes to the typical section. Basically, that increased it from a 2-foot surface shoulder to a 6-foot surface shoulder. That way, once we get this project and the project to the south done down by Firth, we'll have uniform surface shoulder from Firth all the way up to Saltillo.
Nice.
That's a great improvement to add some hard surface shoulders so people can pull over safely and allow for enforcement as well, for sheriff to be able to pull people over the side safely as well.
Great safety improvement, and then also to gives our sheriffs a break so they have a chance.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6D, professional services agreement 3 to county contract C-23-0981 with Alfred Benish and Company for additional preliminary engineering services as outlined in Exhibits A and B in an amount not to exceed $13,652.48.
The resolution, this is for the 98th Street A to O project. Really, it's just a result of additional coordination with the city of Lincoln Parks and Recreation and also the NRD for the location of the trail, the Mopac Trail that comes down through there. And then also a little bit of, organization with turn lanes and driveway locations right at the A and 98th and A Street intersection. So a little bit extra work that wasn't in the original contract.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Matt, just to be clear, which item are we on?
6D.
D. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
excuse me, I got it
No, no,
myself.
no, but we're fine. So 6D,
Yeah.
still motion and second. Stan, please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now we are item 6E, which is the resolution of the matter authorizing the county board to sign the professional services agreement supplemental 1 with Alfred Benish and Company for additional preliminary engineering services.
This is the 98th Street A to O, just coordination for the trail and driveway locations on the resolution and the following agreement.
Move approval.
Motion and second. You know, the engineering department just has a lot going on here, Larry. There are a lot of
Well, you
things.
skip a day or
Yeah,
skip
it's
a
2
week.
It's 2 weeks, this whole
Yeah.
agenda is.
Very good. Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. And now 6F, the Professional Services Agreement 1 to County Contract C-23-0602 with Alfred Benish and Company for additional preliminary engineering services as outlined in Exhibits A and B in an amount not to exceed $27,468.95.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6G, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award a contract to Tim Cisco Construction LLC for culvert maintenance Phase 1 in the amount of $367,722.50.
This is our multi-location culvert replacement. It's Phase 1 that rolled out. Can't seem to find my map. I believe there's about 13 or 14 locations. And this is a very favorable bid. It came in well underneath what our estimate was. We recommend award.
I'd move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6H, compensatory time off agreement with Amy Anderson, accounting specialist.
All right.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve 6H. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6I, a request for an exceptional circumstance award under Personnel Rule 17.9B for Daniel Frederick, Clerk of the District Court, for a $500 award.
Simon Rezak, Clerk District Court. Dan. It was our chance to recognize and thank Dan for his hard work there in the office. We was short personnel changes and everything else. We have a position that's a very critical position. It deals with appeals that go to the Supreme Court, and all those appeals going from the county to the Supreme Court, it's something we can't miss, and it's for the public and the defendant. It's an important mission that we have to accomplish. Dan stayed right on top of those during the changeovers and training time to ensure that we didn't miss any of those deadlines.
Very good, Simon. Thank you. Mr. Frederick, thank you for being here this morning. Any comments you'd like to share with us?
It's just nice to be recognized as an employee anywhere when you help out and pitch in, so I appreciate that. I also do want to thank the people also in my other division that I work in the clerk's office, because they had to pick up a little bit of my other work while I did this, but I'm happy to help. But again, it's just nice to be recognized, so I appreciate this. Thank you very much.
It really does take a team. I mean, everybody working together
Absolutely.
to keep things going the way they need to be going, the responsibilities that you all have to the courts and the judges. It all works fine until it doesn't work, and then it's a problem. So thank you for staying on top of all that. Commissioners, I entertain a motion.
No, thank you very much for stepping in. I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
6J, a special designated license application from Farmside Weddings and Events LLC at Rocaberry Farms on December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 12th, 13th, 14th, 2025 for a Christmas shopping event.
Anyone here to speak on this application? We want to hear more about it. I don't see anyone.
Just have to go to the event.
I guess.
The application has been through the process and had eyes on it. I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. These are the things that help make Lancaster County such a great place to be. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6K, Agreement with Reduct Incorporated for transcription cloud services for the Public Defender's Office. The cost for 2 users for 1-year term is $1,800.
Mr. Clerk, I've made a commitment here that we'll hold this one till the end of new business if possible, because the public defender had a conflict that they're trying to make it here. So let's move it back to the end of new business.
We're not gonna approve it?
I think we are.
Okay.
She was asked to come speak, and I wanted to give her her minute to talk about it if possible.
Of course, Mr. Chair, that brings us to 6L, an agreement with Nebraska Wesleyan University for students to provide educational courses on innovation, entrepreneurship, and problem solving, as well as mentorship to juveniles residing at Youth Services Center. There is no cost to the county.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Alexander, Lancaster County Youth Services Center. You guys are very familiar with this, and one of the representatives from Wesleyan came and spoke at the staff meeting, so I appreciate your support. I'm looking forward to this program.
Yeah, I'm excited to move this forward.
It's an absolutely excellent program. The more of this we do, the better off the whole community is. It's a great idea.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Yeah, really thank you to you and Wesleyan for working this out. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
6M, a memorandum of understanding with the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs to allow the County Veterans Service Office to view and add information to a database to assist veterans and their eligible dependents to access benefits.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve continuing service to our veterans in our community. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6N, memorandum of understanding with Tyler Technologies for the renewal of VetraSpec software services. The cost of the county is $2,379.70.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6O, contracts with the following for service of sheriff's uniform, clothing, and accessories. The cost shall not exceed $69,000 for all contracts. They're with Galls LLC, Great Plains Uniform, and GT Distributors Incorporated.
Good morning, Commissioner. Sarah Sump, Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. We've selected 3 vendors this time to provide us uniforms. In the past, we've struggled to find quality vendors that are able to meet our needs, and so we had a lot of people put in for it, and so we decided with the recommendation of purchasing to award 3 different ones, so we know we will be able to keep our deputies' uniforms quality looking and at cost-effective pricing as well.
And do these vendors, can they get us the pink tan pants?
So
Never
Great
not gonna bring it up.
Plains.
I'm never not gonna do it.
I know, right? Great Plains is going to try,
Great.
but they just also got Omaha's police department as well, so they are going to have their hands full. But they've said it's possible, so we'll see what we can get.
Great.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Thank you for being here, Sarah.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6P, grant contract with the Branched Oak Observatory in the amount not to exceed $100,000 from the Visitors Improvement Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Matt Anderson, co-founder and executive director for the Branched Oak Observatory.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Branched Oak Observatory, Matt, and what this grant will help you achieve.
So the Visitors Improvement Fund, we did receive approval from the county for $100,000 for the building of our expanded gift shop and admissions building. We were prepared to break ground earlier this summer, and we summarily ran across, I'll just call it an administrative snag that was unbeknownst to us. One of the things that I look for is I'm always have an eye to the future. And so I had reached out to the Planning and Zoning Department, just what do I need to do? What are the things that we need to set in motion at some point in the future as we look for additional land purchases. And during that conversation, several things came to light. One was that we were evidently not zoned correctly for the operations of which we were operating under the last 11 years. Secondly, we had a building that was permitted in 2023, the Kunkel Family Multi-Purpose Center, and in speaking with the folks from Building and Safety, we were evidently the gentlemen or the people involved with that were not authorized to give us a building permit. And so that set in motion a whole series of things that have kind of brought us here today. In 2018,
The city
so
representatives from Building and Safety who gave you a building permit.
Blue Core Construction was the general contractor. Them and Stonebrook Exteriors, they're the ones that got the permit. And as I recall, it was quite the process.
Sure.
And they were able to get it. We've always really operated under an educational facility on ag land is what we've operated under. And evidently come to find out that's not maybe necessarily the correct ordinance. And so it started, there were so many moving parts to this. And I spoke with Commissioner Vest briefly about this, but when we originally purchased the land, my father-in-law and mother-in-law had the property and had existing property lines, and we had built several buildings on there, and come to find out that the one property line that we thought we had to the east was about 15 feet shorter than what we had anticipated, and that was a surprise to the previous owner, Don White, who had owned the land prior to that. And so buildings that we had built along that property line, we had put back far enough because I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of room. And as it has turned out, we are up against, on one of our structures is right up against the property line, and the others meet the minimum requirements. In speaking with Building and Safety, I apologize, I don't remember the individual's name. We were talking about it, and I was, because I'm trying to keep all this.
Anderson, if I could steer you in a slightly different direction.
Yes,
here.
sir.
I mean, appreciate what you're doing out there. You know, this grant, what you've done is establish a really vibrant community attraction out there with the Branched Oak Observatory.
Thank you.
And this is a recognition of the work that's been done, and it's authorized to help you enhance the services that you're providing to the citizens of our community and from outside our community. And I know you've probably been busy out here with the Northern Lights and other
Yes, sir.
attractions like that. That's going to continue, and this grant will support your efforts to help.
Absolutely, and because of the growth of the observatory, this new structure is absolutely key. The additional redirecting of about $5,000 in funds is to help cover the cost of the administrative fee for the text amendment that is required, and then also for the special use permit, and then some additional professional services that are required to make that happen.
Thank you for being here this morning.
And we pay for that?
We've checked that out.
And the answer is yes?
Yes.
It's good to clarify.
Well, sorry. I mean, I thought they went together, but we have checked it out, and the answer is
Just
yes.
eyeballing the county attorney's office and no one's making eye contact. Yes, we're good, everybody? Okay, all right.
I would move approval.
Second. Go ahead.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Commissioners, thank you very much for your support, not only for the past projects, this current project, and no doubt we'll have projects in the future, and your support is greatly appreciated.
Keep up the good work.
Commissioners, that brings us to 6Q, acceptance of a proposal from Symetra Life Insurance Company for stop-loss insurance rates for the county's health insurance plan for January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Good morning, Melissa Zohort, Human Resources. This is an annual renewal that is done every year, And I'm sure you're familiar with stop loss, but essentially it is insuring our insurance is how I refer to it. It protects us from the unknown high cost claims. So currently this year, we have a $1 million, $86,000 premium, and the proposal for next year for renewal is $1,629,000. So it is a higher difference, $543,000. Reason being, there have been 38 high cost claimants this year, so over $50,000. We have not had any change in plan design, and the deductible for the stop loss will still be $250,000. We're really pleased with that based on the number of high cost claims and the dollar amount of those. So the acceptance of this proposal will lead to a contract with Symetra.
Any questions?
Move approval?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
6R, a series of recommendations from the Personnel Policy Board. They are: 1, to approve revisions to the following county rules: application and screening process, agency hiring process, types of appointment, promotion, transfer, and demotion; and 2, to approve revisions to the Human Resources Policy Bulletin on workplace drug and substance abuse policy.
All right, good morning. Laura Lepke, Human Resources. The attachments on the agenda are pretty messy, so I provided you guys some clean copies of the new language once all the revisions that have been proposed would be applied. Right. And don't plan to go line by line, but would like to highlight some of these changes for you guys. We really wanted to clean up a lot of the hiring language that was in Personnel Rules 5, 6, 7, and 9. Modernize some of the language. For example, we had examination all throughout the rules. Selection process is more commonly used in our current processes. We tried to modernize some of that and also consolidate some of the language that would have removal from list for certain applicants and then disqualification reasons in another place. So wanted to bring all that together in these rules now. Rule 5 is really going to highlight the process of applicants coming into HR. So this is our internal within HR process. Rule 6 really goes into what is done after referral to the hiring agency. So wanted to just kind of highlight the difference between those two rules here. 5.4, applicant ineligibility. I do want to note that these are all reasons we may remove someone from consideration. The Sheriff's Office is very stringent with falsifying applications. They want to see absolutely everything that you've done in your whole career, even if there's a small gap in employment. They are more stringent than other agencies for certain things with falsifying applications. So I do want to highlight just that one example. We may remove for things like leaving an employer off an application, but we don't have to. So all of these reasons are a may remove, if applicable and in the best interest of the county. One other change I want to highlight on that first page there is 5.1b. We can now open internal postings to a certain group of positions. This includes unclassified roles. So for example, Mental Health Crisis Center, Community Corrections might use some on-call staff. We could open up a position for a full-time role just to our on-call staff. We've had the request for that many times in the past. It would make sense that they would be able to move into those full-time roles before people in the public. So. All right, moving on to the second page. Biggest change here would be 5.6 seniority credits. We have added a cap on this of the maximum of 10 points. This is to just ensure an open and competitive process. I do have some handouts regarding this with our union language. We had heard some concerns throughout our approval process for this language with the union contracts and just the ability to have seniority applied. It certainly is something that is prominent throughout our union contracts, and many of them do require that we hire the most senior employee for promotion. So just want to highlight in all of our 5 contracts where that is spelled out, that they would still receive seniority, and that does supersede anything in personnel rules. So those employees represented by those unions would have those protections.
So then the maximum of 10 points does not apply to these, you're saying?
Correct, yes, because that would supersede the personnel rules. So, yeah, for those, the more senior employees shall receive that preference. All right, other thing I want to highlight on the second page, 59B, this is the process for an applicant to appeal their application scoring. So there is separate language for an applicant to appeal the selection process, but this would be just for the application process if they think that things were not scored fairly or there was anything impartial in that scoring process. They can appeal that to Human Resources within certain timeframes. So.
Laura, these have all gone out to all the department heads for review?
Yes. Yep, these were first presented to you quite a while ago. It was introduced 7/3, right before 4th of July. Went out to all agency heads that same day. We went to the employee roundtable 7/16, so a couple of weeks after that. And then the Personnel Policy Board saw these in October and November. We went through very line by line, so it's good. Yep, full review there. All right, then going on to page 3, Rule 6, this is the hiring process for the agencies. We kept this pretty short and sweet because we wanted to give them the liberty to run through the selection process as they see fit. They know their positions best. We wanted to give them the liberty to do that in a way that met the needs for the hiring that they have in their different agencies. So really the essence of it, though, is they develop that process and then document what that activity looks like. Worst case scenario, we get a grievance. The first thing we do is look for that documentation. So as long as we can justify why they made that hiring decision through that documentation, it's good for us. So. And then 6.4 is the hiring process appeal. So that would be how a internal applicant may appeal to Human Resources for anything in the department or agency's hiring process that they think was impartial. Rule 7 just really goes into the kinds of positions that we have at the county. We have probationary appointments, easily our most common one that we hire into. Emergency appointment, we did give more authority to the county board in this language. Before, we had to wait for a nationally declared emergency or a statewide emergency to be able to have an emergency appointment, but this way you guys have the authority to decide Lancaster County has an emergency. That might not apply to the state or the nation, but it brings it local so that you have the ability to decide when that would be needed, say pandemic, anything like that. So,
know when our emergency.
I'm sure, yes, yeah, definitely. All right, and then temporary appointment would be 12 consecutive months. We have seasonal appointment for 6 months. I think, weed control authority. We have a lot of noxious weed inspectors that are just for the summer season. On-call appointment we use a lot for mental health crisis center. A little bit for corrections, not as much recently, but we have used that one. Community corrections, drug screening techs, things like that. And then 7.6 would be your non-competitive appointments, such as the MSS classifications. So all those attorneys, supervising attorneys, positions of that sort. So. All right, and then moving on to promotion, transfer, and demotion. So these would be any internal employee moves. Promotions, we did make sure to align this language with the Civil Services Act. So it would go through the same competitive process for an internal employee promoting into a new position. And then we do want to factor in that job performance and seniority. You'll see that on the final page, D, 9.1D. That is something that we take into consideration with our background investigation reference check policy. That policy really spells out how they can call into HR or call the references of the applicants to get more of a understanding of their performance internally. So. All right, and then one thing I do want to highlight as well, because we went back and forth on this one a lot in 9.1H, should someone promote, they go on probation for 6 months. If they fail that probationary period for the promotion, they are able to revert back to their prior position, and we have to have a role for them. They wouldn't just be dismissed from county service. So whether that's creating a vacancy for them or them bumping someone, they would have the kind of retreat rights, as we call it, to move back into the role they had vacated before the promotion. So
How long does that probation last?
6 months. Yep. So if they are unable to successfully complete that, they would have retreat rights.
Sounds complicated in that,
It did get a little complicated, but yeah.
because if you promote from within,
yeah.
you have an open position, and 6 months later,
Mm-hmm.
you say, well, this isn't working for me, I want to go back. You
Mhm.
probably haven't left that position empty for 6 months.
Correct, yes. So that's where we would either have to vacate the position they vacated, create a similar one for them, or move them into a position comparable to the one they had left when promoting, so.
And to be clear, all the department heads had ample opportunity to educate themselves and be aware of all the changes that are proposed.
Yes, and this is not a change. That would be consistent with our prior practice. That is from state legislation, I believe. So, yeah, that would be consistent there. But, yes, agency heads were sent this many months ago, and we've had multiple meetings between now and then to weigh in on any feedback. So, not a ton of process change. It's a lot of cleanup and consolidation of language, so.
Great. Any questions? Very good.
Okay.
It was a cumbersome document to do those
Was a
changes
lot.
on when we're looking at the
clean one's a
redlining.
lot easier to work off of, for sure. So, yeah. All right. Thank you.
I'd entertain a motion.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yep.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Returning to 6K, the agreement with Reduct Incorporated for transcription cloud services for the Public Defender's Office.
Good morning. Thank you for coming back to this. Christy Yeager, Lancaster County Public Defender. We were
Can I just say-
interviewing for,
Wait, there, was that just 9? Did we just do R1?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
we're going to K, we'll come back to R2 then? Is that correct?
We'll need to do that.
That's fine.
Oh,
We- yeah,
sorry
we did
about
not-
that.
no.
He called your thing, so you came
I
up
know,
right.
I know.
You're right. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same
Yeah,
page.
yep. You're right. So, Christie.
Thank you. You have the Reduct contract in front of you. A couple years ago, we started looking at a platform to help us look at the multitude of body cam evidence and cruiser videos that we have. We were looking for a better way to transcribe our investigators' interviews with witnesses. And our secretary had been using Google Docs, which didn't work very good. And so she didn't have any way to turn a video into a transcript. This will allow us to do that. The reason I stopped looking at justice text was because of the cost increase. They had previously told me that their cost was at $1,200 per user, but then they changed their policies and their contracts for public defenders' offices to include every attorney and every investigator, whether that attorney was a juvenile court attorney or a misdemeanor attorney or an appellate attorney. Appellate attorneys would not use this very much because this is more for the investigative part pre-trial. And so we would be paying for extra people, and they raised their cost for public defender's office to about $25,000 per year to $25,000. I didn't think that was feasible, especially in view of the cost that the county recently put forth to upgrade our case management system. And so I started looking at other agencies, and so Reduct gave us a free 30-day trial period, which a number of attorneys and our paralegals and our legal secretary and investigator had access to. They found it to be very helpful, very usable. We found the staff at Reduct to be very responsive to our questions, which is not something that happens all the time. So the reason that the start date of the contract is October 24 was that our previous free month started back in September, and the 30 days was up October 24. They haven't stopped our use of Reduct. They've allowed us to keep up with that, even though this contract was pending. The cost would be $900 per user. And so we decided to ask for one for our legal secretary and one to the paralegal. The 50 commenter seats means that those commenters have access to the evidence and the statements and the videos that are gone through Reduct. They can make notes and view them, but they can't manipulate them. They can't download things. We have to limit it to those 2 users. Otherwise, they would charge us more. But all the attorneys and the investigators have access to this to make comments. It's very helpful to help us transcribe witness statements from investigators, transcribe the video and body cam, and cut videos for use at trial more efficiently than the process we had been using before. You can use the written transcript to quickly find that place in the video so that then you can cut that particular 5-minute section to show a jury or a judge or to use in a motion to suppress. You can pull up a number of videos at one time and get a better idea about what the police officers were viewing instead of just seeing them all one at a time. And so we are asking that this contract be permitted. It's a very reasonable price for the services that we will get.
Very good.
They'll also be able to tell me after a period of time how many hours we are using. If at some point we need to cut down to just one user, then we can do that, but I don't know if all of our attorneys, 25 of us, are using this, it's going to use up the hours, so.
So I have a couple of questions. My first question is that just having the 2 editors really works in your department.
I think
Everyone
that
else
it will.
can view it. You don't need
Yes.
other editors? You don't anticipate that?
No, I think the legal secretary and one paralegal being the point people to ask for specific duties will be appropriate.
And then my other question is, because it does have the AI transcription component, this has been through IS, so they've looked at this and.
Yeah, before I looked into getting Reduct, I asked IS about it. They checked the security and all of that. That's how we got permission to do the 30-day free trial. I would not have done it had IS not
Any
said.
of your records are privileged, so I certainly get that. Great, thank you.
Questions?
Second?
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Commissioners, now returning to 6R2 to approve the revisions to the Human Resources Policy Bulletin on Workplace Drug and Substance Abuse Policy.
Hi, Sarah Kroll with Human Resources. So as you may or may not be aware, there was some state legislation that was recently passed to include medical cannabis to be legalized within the state of Nebraska. So that provided us with an opportunity to update our current drug policy to incorporate those provisions that have been introduced into state statute. No real large changes, same as our current practices, accounting for, obviously you cannot come to your job under the influence, even if you have a prescription for that. It also accounts for, we are still regulated under federal law to follow our CDL holders, our FMCSA and our FTA folks who are not allowed to partake in those substances, but we do account for should someone be in one of those safety sensitive positions and maybe have a prescription for medical cannabis due to cancer. Potentially we can go down an accommodations path and help them through that process and not eliminate their position, so they wouldn't be penalized for having that prescription. No other major changes. Like I said, it's basically incorporating now that we have medical cannabis as one of our substances that we need to account for.
Can I just ask a couple questions?
Yeah.
You mentioned CDL. Obviously, the engineers department has that. What other departments have CDLs? Are you aware of any others?
I don't believe corrections has any for transport or anything like that. I believe it's just engineering.
Should make sense.
Yep. And then our sheriff's department they're a part of our random drug testing portal.
Okay, gotcha. So those, I'm just making sure I understand them right. Those people, if they have a CDL and that's part of their job, they cannot be using medical cannabis.
Correct, according to federal law.
Okay.
Yep. But it doesn't mean that a CDL holder, for example, someone in county engineering, let's say that, well, yeah, they just wouldn't be able, that wouldn't be a path for them.
Yeah, and that's where you're saying you could make accommodations by moving to another position if that was a requirement of their
Right.
stuff.
Yep.
Okay. I think that was the only one I just wanted to clarify on.
Good. Good question.
I'd move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. Commissioners, that brings us to item 7, public comment. Members of the public wishing to speak on items related to county business on the agenda may do so at this time.
Any members of the public wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda, please come forward. Any members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close public comment.
Item 8, announcements. The Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, November 20th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. Board of Commissioners meetings are streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Item 9 is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We'll now open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Mr. Clerk.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall at the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025.
I move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
Motion second to approve item 2. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, a public hearing on the following motor vehicle tax exemption applications from Bryan Medical Center, the Department of Nebraska American Legion, Matt Talbot Kitchen Outreach, St. Paul United Methodist Church, and Parkview Christian School.
We will now open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications, please come forward. I see none. We will close the public hearing.
Next item is 4A, action on the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I move approval of these applications.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Johnson, Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is public comment.
Any members of the public wishing to comment on items related to the County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda, please come forward. We will now close public comment.
Item 6 is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.